Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soul Rehab Project. This is Sarah Saxby, and this is the podcast where we expose lies personally and globally. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, all the places where we lie to ourselves, and ultimately feel hopeless and lost and confused and have no idea what we're doing. And it's getting harder and harder as time goes on. So in my last podcast, I said that this was going to be, where I'm going to have 2 or 3 parts to it, but we talked about the chronic self-betrayal and what happens over time when we continue to lie to ourselves. And we don't even realize where we're lying to ourselves because it's so natural to do so. And yesterday, or my last podcast, we talked about how it all begins. And really, we don't even realize, and I have my notes here, so I'm going to be looking at them. We don't even realize that we lie to ourselves because it's just such a natural thing to do. And I really want to talk about those places because the more we're aware, the less we're going to be able to deny it. So you may still choose to stay in this situation, to stay in the lie. It's going to get a hell of a lot harder to do that. Mark my words. You may choose to look away from it, but you're not going to be able to unsee it. Because once you realize, holy shit, I've been lying about this my entire life. It's like, but it's just covered up right now. And once we expose it, once we talk about it, once you see it, you can't go back. Whether you do anything about it, you're proactively is up to you. You will have to do something about it reactively. I assure you, no one is free from it. So we talked about things like saying yes when you mean no, or staying in a relationship that's very unhealthy, or staying in a job that drains you. Even something simple as nodding in agreement when you don't, when that feels like a mismatch to you. Or when people say, how are you doing? And you go, oh, I'm good. How are you? Simple things like that. You're not being honest. I mean, why do we even do that? That's so ridiculous. How are you doing? I'm great. How are you? It's like this. It's just so robotic. Actually, do you want to sit down and know how I'm doing? Things aren't easy right now. So, you know what I'm saying? But we are lying. We're still lying. It's little ways. We talked about seeing things in front of us and not, acting like we don't see them. Turning a blind eye to things that aren't right. Lying to ourselves about our motives. So I'm staying in a relationship because I'm a loyal person. I'm just loyal. I'm not a person who gets divorced, so I'm going to stay. Well, what, you're lying, right? We talked about how we talked about the system being this entity that rewards you for betraying yourself. The further you get away from your soul, the more physical rewards you'll get, but they'll be empty. They're going to continue to feel more empty. So all of those things that so many people are trying to attain, right? More physical, more illusion. The more you go toward that, the more empty it's going to feel now. Years ago, it lit us up for a while. Not going to do that anymore. And people aren't going to understand why that is. It's going to just be more and more chaotic. But why isn't what I've always been doing working? Because it's not going to. So today I want to talk about the next phase of self-betrayal, which is what happens over time. So the last podcast was sort of where it shows up, how it all starts. This is going to be what happens over time, because it may not have mattered as much years ago because time was going very slow. Things, the illusion wasn't as revealed as it is today. The chaos, we're seeing things more clearly. And so I think we need to understand what happens to us, because now things are speeding up. So the more betrayal, the harder it's going to get. So what happens over time when we continue to lie to ourselves and push down our all-knowing, truthful soul, that voice inside that tells you what's right, but we go, no, that can't be it. Don't tell me I need a divorce. That's not it. I'll do anything else but get divorced. It's like, maybe you have hormone problems, but you're like, I know it's not the coffee. It's not the coffee. Never be the coffee. Never tell me anything. I will do anything else but the coffee. So the voice is telling you that's your true voice. That's your intuition. That's your all knowing. You push it down. What happens when you keep pushing it down? So the first thing is that voice does go quiet. It's not going quiet because it disappears. It's always going to be there, but it just knows that you left. It knows you're no longer there. So it goes quiet because you're not going to listen. You've already lied for so many years that it knows that you're just not going to listen anymore. You also begin to disassociate from yourself. So it's like, and a lot of you are going to relate to this. So this is really good. So you'll still laugh. You'll still show up. You're still going to post all your selfies and your vacations and your cocktails on the patios, all that stuff. You're going to smile. You're going to go into work and smile, still act like everything's great, even though you can't stand it in there. But it's all a mask. It's always been a mask. But now you can really tell it's a mask because there's a disconnect between that voice, that soul, and your body. And so here I wrote down some of the things that you will experience. And one of them is that you will not feel really anything anymore. It's like you're watching your life from the outside. And I've heard people say this. It's like, I don't know why this is. I just don't even feel like I'm in here anymore, right? You don't know what it is you want. You feel numb. So going back to, I don't know what it is I want. Here's a really important thing that I want everyone to understand is that somebody recently asked me, well, what is it that you like to do? And the truth is we're not a doing sort of society anymore. So when we say, what is it that you like to do? I'm not saying don't do things. Go do things that you enjoy. But if you're sitting here going, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like to do. It's more of how do you want to feel? Connect with how you want to feel. And there's so many things. It's like, I want to feel like I have energy and I want to feel settled and I want to feel whole inside. And I want to feel like I'm inspired and I want to feel healthy and clean. And it's been a long time since we've felt like that. So over time, the self-betrayal, we just disconnect from that. So don't try to look at like, what is it that I want? What is it that I want to do? Stop for a second and go, well, wait a minute. Let me connect with how I want to feel because I don't even remember that anymore because I've been on autopilot for decades. I've been working for 10 hours, coming home and shuffling the kids around and, drinking my wine and going to bed and getting up and do it again. You don't even remember how it is you want to feel. You're so disconnected from your feeling. You've been told not to feel. Especially for those, I talked about this in another video. It's like those that have been in abusive relationships. You're not allowed to feel. You're not allowed to tell me what I did to you. Just push it down. Get over it. Move on. No. How do you feel? Get in touch with how you feel right now and how do I want to feel? Because even if you say, what do I like to do? Oh, I like to go on vacation. So you go on vacation, you still don't feel right. You're still disconnected because you're trying. If you say, what do I want to do? You're going to go try to do that thing. You're not going to get the feeling you're looking for because that thing doesn't provide it anymore. And it's not going to because that thing might not be for you anymore. So stop for a minute and get in touch with how you want to feel and then see where that takes you. I try to do that with my kids, actually. It's a really good thing because I don't want to push anything anymore. Because if we go on a vacation and 2 days later, they're like, I'm just ready to go home. It's not worth it. So it's like, where are we at right now? What do we feel like doing right now? I kind of just let it happen. I'll just be around and it's like, hey, do you want to go do this? Sure. Or if they just want to be out by themselves, it's like, just respect where you want to be right now. So just feel, what do I want to feel? Start with that. So another thing that happens with chronic betrayal is that you start to get used by the system. You have to understand that the system, we talked about this, the system loves anyone that is no longer connected to their soul, no longer listening to their inner voice. So once you're disconnected, once you no longer see yourself as a soul, once you see yourself as like a piece of paper that's controlled, once you disassociate, you're very easy to control. And this world and the system that we're calling the system, right, needs you disconnected from who you are. I talked about the other day in my podcast about we're a birth certificate. We're a piece of paper that's traded. It's traded. It can be taxed. It can be used. Once you associate with that piece of paper, with that number, with that file, then you can be controlled. And we forgot that we're actually a soul. That knows everything it needs. That knows everything it wants and desires and everything it's here to do. But we forgot because now we associate with a piece of paper. We've been bamboozled, but we don't realize it. The more you connect with who you are, remember that person, the less controllable you are. And the more your world will start to bend to who you are becoming. So it's not like you're going to become this truthful person and you're going to be a square trying to fit into a round hole. Your world will bend to you, if that makes sense. And I want to talk about that more in another podcast. But going back to being used by the system when you're disassociated, when you're disconnected with who you are, you will be willing to sell anything. You'll sell anything, even if it's wrong for people, even if it's totally inappropriate for someone. You'll sell anything. You don't care. You're disassociated with your soul. You'll say yes to things that are no longer good for you. It doesn't even matter. You'll just say, yes, let's go. It's fine. You'll work jobs that drain you. You'll lie to get comfort. And the comfort is temporary, but you'll lie to get it. You don't know any other way. You don't know what real comfort is. And you'll call yourself grateful while you're slowly dying inside. Oh, look at all this. I should be grateful for everything I have. Gratitude is a wonderful thing, but if you're using it, if you're lying and you're saying, and you're using it as a way to keep you stuck in a situation you're in that you don't want to face because you're lying, screw it, throw it out the window. Gratitude is important. It's important to be grateful for all the things you have, but if you are using it as a way to keep you stuck, think about it for a second. The system loves empty vessels. They love when we don't associate with our soul anymore as a separate, human, separate human of the whole piece. They love it when you associate yourself with a piece of paper, with a number, with a file, because you don't rebel, you don't ask questions, you don't cause any problems, you just follow along. And they love that. We are slaves to a system that loves when we have no power, but we're getting our power back. Another thing chronic self-betrayal causes is the mirror starts to haunt you, right? You don't recognize yourself anymore. And I say this one a lot. And I went through this years ago where I was just like, who is this fucking pod person that I'm looking at in the mirror? This is not what I wanted for myself. Not at all. Not at all. I had so many goals, so many dreams, so many things I wanted to do. And I just gave it all up for false security. Who is this person? You built a good life, but it feels like shit. And I know so many people, it's like everything looks just so good, but I can see the disconnect with how they feel. They're still playing the game, but they're lying. So you start to need more distractions. You need more alcohol, more shopping, more plastic surgery, more social media posts, more validations, more chaos. You need something to distract you, because when it's quiet, it's painful. It hurts. You're like, no, no, no. So you're doing more now. I need more. Give me more distraction so I don't have to sit and think. So my truth doesn't like just explode inside of me, because I don't want to hear it. I'm not ready to make the move. I'm not ready to face where I've been lying. And it's just keeps bubbling up. More distractions, more distractions. You need something to constantly drown the truth, because it's not stopping now. It's like a runaway freight train. The truth, it's coming out, and we're doing everything we can to stay distracted. Everything. Maybe my next Facebook post will give me the validation I'm looking for to prove I exist. And you post and you're like, well, what's my next one? What can I do to post? And the last thing I wrote here was, and this is really profound, but I wrote, you start dying before you're dead. You're still functioning, but the light is gone. You touch people, but it feels cold. You speak, but there's nothing behind it anymore. It's like small talk, doesn't mean anything. It's just a waste of words. You say, oh no, I'm happy, but the frequency doesn't match. That's the stuff that I do. That's what I've always been able to see in people, right? Ever since I was little. Oh, I'm good. No, you're not. I can see it. I can't say anything unless you want me to say something. But I can see that. I can see that disconnect. This is why celebrities look like hollow shells, because they have disconnected. They're no longer associated with their soul. Now, can it come back? Can you come back from that? Some can, some can't. The people that I work with are the ones that are in this window. They're the ones that are becoming aware that something is wrong, okay? They feel the numbness, they feel the disconnection, the emptiness, the restlessness when you're supposed to be comfortable, right? You feel a rage within the stillness. You feel like fake gratitude, deep sadness. It's like you are relating to these feelings, but you don't know why you're feeling it. So that's when you go to, you get some therapy, you get medication, you drink more, you do all that, because you're like, why do I feel like this? I don't have a reason. It's chronic self-betrayal. And it's always the thing no one wants to admit, because it's the hard shit. It's the hard shit, you guys. It's the stuff we don't want to look at. It's the job you hate. It's the partner you don't want to be with anymore. It's this life you built. I have such a beautiful house. I'm going on vacations. I have a nice car. I have such nice clothes, but I feel empty. The medication's not working. The half a bottle of wine isn't working. The Netflix series worked for a little bit. It's not working. No, I need more. Because you're not facing the lie that you have been living forever. Forever. And it's going to come out. So you start seeing it now, or shit's going to go sideways. So I'm looking for the people that are in that window that are super confused. My life is chaotic. Help me. I know I can come back. I know I can attach to my soul again. But you have to be stronger than the system. The system is strong. It's seductive. It's alluring. Oh, look at these nice shoes over here. And then you see a person, a commercial with a person wearing the shoes, and they just got it all, right? It's fake. It's fake. Like on Facebook, you'll see someone who posts a picture of like a beautiful room, in the forest. It's snowing and there's a fireplace and you're drinking a bottle of wine, whatever. Oh, I want to go there. I want to go there because when I go there, all of my worries will be gone. My stress will be gone. I won't have anxiety. I'll be energized. I'll feel inspired. You get there and you feel like shit, just like you felt at home, because you're not dealing with the lie. You're still trying to go out there and fix it. Anything but the lie. Tell me what else I can do. You can do those things. You can go get acupuncture. You can go get therapy. Oh, but you have to face the lie. It has to be coupled with you facing where you're lying to yourself. The system knows they're hanging on by a thread. They know because we're waking up. That's why you can see the crazy shit out there. So for those that are too far gone, you know who those people are. They're not home anymore. My son and I always say, we explain things. We explain people. We say, are they all there or not? And it's because you're talking to someone and you're just like, you're looking and you're like, they're not even listening to what I'm saying. You know, the ones that you're talking and they just start talking about something else right over the top of you. They're not even here. They're not home. They're going. They don't feel the same way anymore. They're disassociated with that. And they're so far gone that they're not going to come back. So I'm looking for the people that want to come back, that feel it, that say, I know I can do this again. I know I can start feeling. So let me know what you guys think. I want to hear some comments. Send me an email, sarah@strategiesforhappiness.com. My links, all my links are always in my bio on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, to sign up for my truth room session. It's 90 minutes of exposing where you're lying. You will definitely come out of that going, oh shit, but you gotta be ready for it. It's amazing. Just something that I've been gifted with. But you will come out of it going, wow, I've never seen it like this before. So book a truth room session, share this. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I look forward to our next. Yeah. You know what? Let me know what you guys want to talk about. I'm happy to talk about whenever. So, we'll talk to you guys soon.